I think one of the most disheartening problems parents face is sibling conflict with their kids. And I want to give you a couple of ideas to get you started in this whole process. Now, I wrote a book called Say Goodbye to Whining, Complaining, and Bad Attitudes in You and Your Kids. You can find it at biblicalparenting.org, as well as a whole curriculum about this kind of material and helping children learn how to relate more effectively with parents as well as with children. But let's talk about some ideas. Number one, I would suggest you work with children independently. When you have sibling conflict, it's very tempting to say, you kids, and just start in with them. It would be better if you pull Bill out and deal with him separately than dealing with Mary. And you might have to send them to do two different parts of the house to think about it, but then you go to Bill and you work on Bill because Bill has to deal with his selfishness and the selfishness of Mary. So that's a different plan than Mary because Mary has to deal with her selfishness and the selfishness of Bill. So we're helping children by working with them independently. It's a far more effective approach to working with children. If you don't, sometimes those kids gang up on you. You just don't get as far with children if you work on this problem together with them. Spend time working independently. You might even just pull one child out of the conflict and say, I'm going to work with you. And the child says, well, that's not fair. How come you're not pulling her out? I am going to pull her out, but I'm going to teach you how to work with her first. So go back in there and work with her. And if she's still doing the wrong thing, I'm going to pull her out. So we're equipping children to manage this very important area of their life, how to deal with problems and conflict and so on. The second thing you want to do is transfer responsibility for problem solving to the kids. Now, here's a time when you might keep them together. You might say, you guys look like you're fighting over something and it's important. So why don't you sit down on the couch here and talk about it? And when you come up with a solution, let me know. In this way, we're transferring responsibility to kids. We don't just walk away. We often have to monitor that and manage their interactions so that they can learn how to negotiate and compromise, how they can learn how to persuade and just communicate together. So we're equipping them that way. Those are a couple of ideas, lots more ideas in the book, and I'll share more probably in TikTok videos, but those are some things you can think about as you're trying to work with your kids to address sibling conflict.